it's MK, and this month I will be joining Sandy Reversky, who is State Goddess here on YouTube, as well as Scrapping Reflections over on Facebook, for her Follow a Sketch February. Now, I'm not going to be playing along with every single day, but today I really wanted to play because I saw this design and thought, oh my gosh, I can actually do some of my Canadian photos that I took while on my cruise in July. So I picked up these keychains from a vendor in Victoria, and so I thought it was pretty cool to add these to my layout. I also have these awesome frames from 49 and Market from the Wherever collection. I brought in these brads, but I know I don't end up using them because actually I brought in a ton of stuff that I never planned on using, but I didn't know what this layout was going to look like until I actually put it together. This is another example of one of the things I brought in. I don't even open it, you guys. So yeah, there's the packaging and it doesn't get opened. I thought I was going to use this piece of paper. Janet and I found this paper at a retreat, and we decided to cut it in half, and that way each of us got a portion of this. It's got cut aparts on one side and a really cool wordy print on the back side. So I thought I was going to use it, end up not using it. And then I'm going to share with you guys all of the little scraps and things that I used to create my background. So the first thing I used was this foundation paper by 49 and Market. It is also from Summer Porch. I only had a little bit of scraps left, so I just made the pieces work where I needed them. This one is also from Summer Porch. This one's actually from the paper collection. So there's the branding strip. Here's the other side. It was wood grain up at the top, but I used the polka dotted blue, and this paper is called Splendor, in case you guys want to go try to find it at scrapbook.com. And then this piece is my try and true Cartabella by the Sea. You guys, I picked up a ton of these background papers. I loved the wood grain so much that I ended up picking up, I think, 10 sheets. So I've got some still to go. This one was also from the Summer Porch paper collection, but I cut off the branding strip a while back. I did use this paper in Kit Conspiracy, so I definitely have the branding strip over on one of those videos. And then same with this piece. This is C'est La Vie paper number 1 from P13. Again, it was part of our Kit Conspiracy kit, and so I finally got around to using that piece. I brought in just a plain Jane white piece of cardstock to cut out my leaves, and then I have all of my cutouts. Now, I created this design and then brought it into Cricut and had Cricut do all the work for me. I have, I think, 6 photos. Yes. 6 photos. 6 of them, or 5 of them, were actually from the document that you could get while on the ship. And so what I did was I took screenshots because you also get a digital copy of it. So I've got the physical and the digital. And then the picture was actually from Lynn, because all of my pictures and all of Janet's pictures ended up having people in there, and Lynn got it just right to where there weren't any pictures in the Canadian, what is that called? Customs port is what that is. You had to walk through customs to get in and on the other side to Canada. So I just thought it was pretty cool. And she just got the perfect photo. So credits to Lynn. Thank you for letting me use your photo. But I also wanted all of these pieces. So when I put this in my layout, I'll actually take the paper that it is printed on, in case, people can't read the pictures, and I'll put it behind the layout, so that way I can go ahead and have that physical copy, just in case it's a little hard to read. I did have to print some of them at full, 4x6, because when I printed everything at 3x4, I definitely could not read it. So it's like, oh, these ones have to be in the 4x6, which is actually by a iPhone, it's 5 by 3.5 or something like that. So random number. All right, so for this page, I distressed all of the edges. That way, if I didn't get my exact gaps perfect, it didn't matter because everything was distressed. And then I'm going to pop up all my leaves. Now, I did the exact same thing on the other page, but for this one, because it has a double leaf, I wanted to make the double leaf or the second leaf stick out a little bit more. So I'm going to add another leaf on top. Then that way I get the shadow of the two leaves. And I really do like how it turned out and how it looks. Now, I designed this for the Follow a Sketch February and for specifically day 1. So I have it available in my shop for the month of February for free for anybody that wants to go get it. The link is down below. You just click on the link, put it in your shopping cart, and you can check out free of charge for this maple leaf design. I didn't design the star because it's not mine, but the maple leaf design is there in the shop for anybody that wants it. It's great for fall pages, great for Canadian pages. I mean, just great all around if you're a leaf fanatic like I am. All right, so I've got my all my photo mats, or all my photos matted. I thought I was going to mat everything on the Canadian paper, and then I decided no, because it's going in the wrong orientation and I didn't want my words on the side. Then I wanted to do that blue, but I only had enough to do 2 3x4s. So I went ahead and I matted my 2 3x4s, but I double matted them. I matted them in white first, and then I matted them in blue, just so they stuck out a little bit more. It doesn't mean that they are more important than anybody else, but just so they stuck out a little bit more. And then I also took all the 3x4 frames, well, 3 of the 4 3x4 frames from that Wherever Frame collection, and framed the 3 3x4s that I had, just so that way they popped off the page a little bit more and were just as important as the larger photos, right? So I did that, but they're sticky backed. And so I took my X-Acto knife and cut them all out. So that way I could leave the sticky back on them and didn't have to peel them off and then, have them be stuck to all my things before I was ready to create the layout. So at first I forgot to look at the sketch. Yep. So I'm going to just go ahead and try and make all my pictures fit with how I thought they were. I thought I was going to have all the 3x4s on one page and all the 4x6s on the other page. That definitely didn't work out. As soon as I had all my pages put together, I was like, nope, I don't know what I was thinking there, so that's not going to work. So then I decided to, do a border all the way across with the 4x6s. And that didn't work. Well, I liked it, but then I looked at the sketch and I thought, oh, that doesn't look at all like the sketch. So I went back to try to figure out how it would look good with the sketch, plus my additional photos and my additional page. Because remember, the right page is just being made as I go, because it's not really there. It doesn't really exist. But it's still really fun to try to bring a sketch to life and then recreate it on the opposite page, but still make it slightly different. So for this one, I really did like how the sketch creator actually put the sketch in, what's it called? The photos in her sketch. And so I definitely will be doing that for my left page, but I'm going to add another photo on top of my 4x6 because it's not technically 4x6. So I think it looks really well. And then for the right side, I'm just going to wing it and try to make it match the other side as much as possible. And I do like how I ended up with that design. So because I'm putting my 3x4s on top of these chipboard frames, I need to pop up some or support the places that aren't touching the frames. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some pop dots, or they're actually called dimensionals. They're by Stampin' Up. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to have my one 3x4 overlapping the 4x6. And I'm not sure if I think I do the exact same thing with the 3x4 picture. I think I do end up overlapping that as well onto the Victoria. So that way everything seems to be touching and whatnot. So I did leave all of this bit in because it's a thinking process as much as it is. Oh, I did not end up touching those. Just to let you guys know. I just saw myself. So now that all the pictures are down and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and start putting all the pieces where I think they're going to go. Now, over here on the left page, I have that gap between the leaf and the flowers, and I really want this leaf to become incorporated with my pictures. I want it to become part of my layout and design instead of just, I'm in the background, here I am, not doing a thing with the rest of the photos. That's my ultimate goal. But first, I'm going to start, I'm going to start with my license plates because I want to make sure that they are incorporated somehow in this layout. So I went ahead and I stuck the Victoria one. Now I needed to stick them strategically in the layout because I want to cover up the little loop where the chain went for the keychain. So I definitely wanted to make sure that those were the first things on my layout and that they're going to get covered up somehow and just look like a really cool license plate put on my layout. I did buy two. I didn't really have any intention of using the other side. At one point in time, I thought I could pry them apart and use both sides, but then I thought that wasn't why I bought them. I bought them so I could use one of one side and one of the other side. And then when I started to try to tear them apart, they bent really super easily and weren't coming apart. And so I thought, well, even if I did get them apart, I was going to ruin one side. So that is how I ended up doing it. Now my little Canada sticker, that is actually from the cruise kit that I picked up on the ship. You guys really go check out the photo shops that are on the ships because they have those little craft kits. They're not very expensive at all. You get a big bang for your buck. I do know that they advertise them as pocket page kits, but you can use them for so much more. I use them in my real scrapbooking. They come with stickers and chipboard and alpha letters. They also come with cool little metal pieces, cool little wood pieces, lots of pocket page cards, 4x6s and overlays. Some have gold on them, some don't. Then there's 3x4 cards. You can always take those elements that are on those cards and fussy cut them out and use them as elements in your page, you guys. So much you could do with those kits, as well as there's 12x12 paper in there. Now it's not cardstock paper, but it is still really cool paper that personalizes it towards your cruise, which I thought was great. You're not going to find things like that. Well, you probably could. There's a really great, I think it's called Scrapbook Customs or Custom Scrapbooks, or something like that, that does a really good job of personalizing where you're going, locations, things that you visited, stuff like that. So, well, as I was gluing everything down, which I usually don't include that process in my layout, you guys, or in my videos, I decided that one, I didn't really do a good job of incorporating this leaf in my layout. It wasn't part of the pictures. And so I decided to move my license plate up to where I could bring it into part of my pictures. And then, of course, I had to figure out a way to cover up that loop, which these cute little berries worked out beautifully. One of the things I liked about these berries is we went for a walk and we saw a lot of berries. Now, I don't remember the color of them, but this definitely reminds me of that little walk that we went on. We picked the berries. We ate the berries. It was just so super cool. Don't tell anybody because we probably weren't supposed to, but we did. It was a long walk, you guys. We needed refreshments. So anyways, that is my layout for today. I had a blast creating this layout. I just love how simple it came. The background did all the work for me. Very little embellishments. Like I said, I didn't even open half of the embellishments that I brought in to use for this. I just really had fun putting this layout together. So don't forget to check out everyone else that is playing along with Sandy here. She is State Goddess here on YouTube for Follow a Sketch February. And then also too, don't forget to click down the link if you want this file for yourself and get a freebie for the month of February. All right. Again, thank you so much. And I'll check you guys all later. Bye.